10 accessories that are banned from the NBA. The NBA is a sports league that normally allows players to wear whatever they choose, with many players wearing trendy attire to games. The same can be true about on-court accessories, as many players wear shooting sleeves and other items to aid them on the court. Despite this, the NBA has nevertheless prohibited some activities. The league normally explains why they restrict something, and there's usually a valid reason for it. While the NBA isn't often quick to tell players what they can and cannot do, there are several things that NBA administrators have outright forbidden. It is a list of objects deemed dangerous, disrespectful, or unprofessional by the league. Take a look at some items and accessories that are banned on the NBA court. Let's play full court, baby! Your go-to channel for the most interesting basketball topics. Supreme logo. Even before Supreme became a billion-dollar brand, its impact had spread well beyond its humble skate shop beginnings to practically every area of pop culture. The famous red and white logo even made its way onto the NBA court in the shape of a co-branded shooting sleeve worn by former Washington Wizard Kelly Oubre Jr. This isn't the first time Supreme items have been worn by players on the court. In 2013, then Nike signee Nick Young donned the Versace-inspired Nike X Supreme Foamposites during a game. It did, however, cause some controversy. The sleeve was created in partnership with Nike and the NBA, but its most recognized element is definitely Supreme's logo, which was on full show when Oubre elected to wear it on his leg during the game against the Brooklyn Nets. Unfortunately, Oubre was requested by his team to remove the sleeve for fear of violating the NBA's uniform regulation, and while he complied, he didn't appear to comprehend which rule the sleeve was breaking. He questioned why the product with an NBA logo existed at all if NBA players aren't allowed to wear it. It has an NBA logo on it, it has a Nike logo on it, Nike supports the NBA, simply it's Supreme. Oubre remarked after the game, "I'm not sure whether it's too wavy for him, but I was just having fun," he said. Ninja-style headbands. Players wearing headgear are not common in the NBA, although the concept had been tried out by a few players throughout the years. For a brief period of time, a few seasons ago, Jimmy Butler, Drew Holiday, and Montrezl Harrell wore the Nike Ninja headband, but the accessory was immediately disallowed by the NBA. The NBA banned the wearing of the Nike Ninja headbands before the start of the 2019-20 season due to variations in the size of the headgear. It raised safety concerns, prompting the NBA to advise players to stop wearing them. These headbands were also declared unprofessional by the league. League spokesperson Mike Bass issued a statement explaining why the Ninja headbands were prohibited, stating, "The Ninja-style headband isn't part of the NBA uniform and hasn't been approved by the league. Teams have expressed concerns about the safety and uniformity of size, length, and how they are linked, requiring a full assessment before considering any rule adjustment." Black masks. The league's ban came to be as a result of an incident that took place involving superstar LeBron James. On February 22, 2014, while still playing for the Heat, James was accidentally smacked by Ibaka while dunking in a game against the Thunder. The nose was seriously injured in the center of his face. He had to wear a mask in the next game against the Knicks to protect himself. James elected to wear a black mask in the game due to limited time to develop a mask. James was extremely scary and menacing with his black jersey and mask. Even though James looked like a superhero, he kept the situation rather quiet. The main reason for the ban was that wearing a black mask interferes with the effective approach of NBA referees, because wearing a black mask prohibits the referees from seeing the players' emotions and penalties. The NBA has decided to restrict everyone from wearing black masks. In truth, this is mostly to safeguard the rights of TV broadcasters, as NBA fans want to witness the performance of NBA players but do not want to see NBA players wearing black masks. As a result, the NBA felt it must protect broadcasters' rights by preventing everyone from wearing black masks. Logos in haircuts. Although the NBA is earning advertising income every year by selling sponsorship space on its players' jerseys, but they do not want any of its players to operate as human billboards. The authorities have shut down Iman Shumpert's hair, but it wasn't the mile-high flat top that got him in trouble. The NBA contacted Shumpert and required him to remove the logo, citing an NBA regulation that states, "The only object containing a commercial logo which can be worn by players is their sneakers." The former Knicks guard shaved the Adidas signature 3 stripes logo into the left side of his hair and the final result, an empty triangle. Wade-style bandages. The NBA contacted the Heat regarding Dwayne Wade and his bandages for a cut beneath his left eye. According to reports, the issue wasn't his usage of the Band-Aid, but with its look. The problem was the Band-Aids with flashing lights and the American flag on them. The NBA stated that athletes may wear them for medical reasons, but not for fashion. They claimed that the punishment or consequence for breaching is insufficient. So why bother bringing it up? Wade's Band-Aids were not causing any harm. They had nothing terrible written on them. What's the big deal about an American flag? The issue never got far enough to be addressed in terms of sanctions. Upside-down headbands. The NBA implemented a uniform regulation back in 2010 that prohibited players from wearing upside-down headbands. Former Boston Celtics point guard, Rajon Rondo, is supposedly one of the most prominent players who wore his headband upside down. Rondo complied with the regulation during the season opening game against the Miami Heat. Apparently, an upside-down NBA logo is also a possible well-known gang sign. The Crips wearing blue and the Bloods using red. So, the NBA wanted no part of promoting gang affiliations. The Big Balls Dance. NBA players and professionals throughout the world like to express their emotions through celebrations after making important plays in the game. Many NBA celebration gestures, however, are still outlawed by the league's management. One such celebration was Sam Cassell's famous dance. While the celebration has been nicknamed the Onions or the Sam Cassell Dance by others, Cassell says there's only one way to refer to it: the Big Balls Dance. That's how he wants to refer to it. The celebration became his signature move. He did the dance every time he came into contact with a dagger or clutch basket. Cassell would do the celebration to demonstrate his perseverance in shooting and making such shots. Several NBA players have imitated Cassell's Big Balls celebration since then. LeBron James performed the Big Balls dance routine after making a huge shot at the end of the game. Kobe Bryant did it against the San Antonio Spurs in 2009, and Klay Thompson did it after a tough shot in Game 4 of the 2019 NBA Finals. The iconic celebration was banned by the league in 2010, owing to obscene gestures, with fines of up to $25,000 imposed. Do-rags, chains, and pendants. The first and only player to wear a do-rag during an NBA game is Sam Perkins of the Indiana Pacers. Perkins of the Pacers wore a do-rag during a preseason game. The league promptly identifies it as a potential safety hazard and shuts it down. Going back in the early days of the NBA, the league bans necklaces as a potential safety hazard, although some players, notably Michael Jordan, subsequently wore gold chains during showcase events such as the Slam Dunk Contest. Gold chains have become a hallmark look for 76ers center Darryl Dawkins and others. The NBA's dress code was implemented on October 17, 2005 by NBA Commissioner David Stern. The clothing code was implemented at the beginning of the 2005-2006 NBA season. The NBA has always featured a large number of fashion-forward players that like expressing themselves via clothing and accessories. However, beginning in 2005, the league enforced severe limits on what players might wear when entering and exiting games. These regulations also control what inactive players may wear while on the bench. Throwback jerseys off the court. All NBA players are required to wear jerseys on the court. However, in 2005, the NBA prohibited all NBA players from wearing throwback jerseys to games. The prohibition has now been in effect for 17 years, but there was much debate surrounding it at the time. Why are NBA players not permitted to wear throwback jerseys? Throwback jerseys were worn by NBA players on their way to games and during media appearances in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Following the events of Malice in the Palace, the NBA demanded that acceptable clothes be worn before games and during media engagements. David Stern, the NBA commissioner at the time, barred players from wearing NBA throwback jerseys before a game, as well as during any media or charity event involving the NBA. No other sports league in the world enforced a ban, but Stern wanted to make sure that a fan and player incident never happened again in the NBA. The NBA would punish any player who violated the regulations regarding throwback uniforms. Before the dress code, David Stern was fine with NBA players wearing jeans, shoes, and a collared shirt. Headphones. The NBA, back in 2004, once prohibited iPods and earphones during pre-game warm-ups because they did not comply with the league's standards for proper court wear. Vince Carter of the Toronto Raptors was one of the players affected by the regulation. He wore them before the game while hitting jump shots to help him focus during his pre-game routine. Carter was moved to the New Jersey Nets a month after the regulation was implemented. Keep in mind that certain NBA players, such as LeBron James, have headphone sponsorship deals with specific companies, so they may be compensated to be seen using any brand headphones. Nonetheless, most guys only want to listen to music before a game, and they're wearing their favorite headphones. You need something to help you to relax before the intense NBA playoffs begin. We hope you enjoyed the video topic today. Subscribe to our channel, Full Court, for more interesting basketball topics.